And what's going on, my homies? It's your host, Snooze. I'm here on the No Business Soccer podcast where the haters will tell us that we got no business talking about soccer. But guess what? We're doing it anyways. And I'm here today with Danny P on the ones and twos in the back. We got J-Fam hanging out. And my boy, Hype Man Vic. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. This whiskey for today is based on the Copa America and Euros that we're going to be talking about. Since it was a good blend of both contests, I'm having a blend of bourbon and rye. This is a new Knob Creek bourbon and rye. And it's really good, really tasty and peppery on the finish. So I think it's going to be pretty good night.
When you say it's based off of the Copa, do you mean that you drink it and instantly stop tactics and just want to fight each other? Or like,
yeah, it's a little ghetto.
Okay.
It's a little ghetto. Yeah.
Okay. We got some Hennessy going on. I see. I like it. Well, how was your weekend, sir?
It's pretty good. It's going to be hopefully better when we get some actual games going on this week instead of all these really 0-0 draws and boring first halves and stuff. So
yeah,
it'll be good this week. I'm excited for this week.
Yeah, we'll get on into all that as well. There are a couple things we'll discuss, and a lot of it will be the underwhelming teams. But for now, I just got to bring this up because I feel like it's taken over the soccer world and by storm, if you ask me. Lamine Yamal's baby picture with Leo Messi. The dude is like a square, a little doll, just in a bathtub, and Leo Messi is just like washing him. I guess I don't know, kind of weird, but.
With long hair.
Yes,
long hair.
Yes. And as soon as I saw that, I think it was from Fabrizio Romano. I was like, This is fake. This is AI. There's no way this is real. But confirmed. I read an article about it. Like, that is a real picture. What's your reaction to that picture? Please tell me.
Well, whenever you shared it, I couldn't believe it either. I was like, nah, this is fake. But yeah, look at it. It looks just like him a little. He kind of looks like that meme where like that kid's like all stuffed up and like about to sneeze or like sick or something. Hey, I'll figure out. It's this one right here. Daniel just put it on the screen.
Put it on the screen.
He's an awesome producer and he just put it on the screen right here. I'll send you that one.
It's like if you took him and just squished him into a square. That's what baby Lamine Yamal looks like. Oh man, so cute. Kind of awkward, but yeah, it was awesome. And before the end of the tournament, there had to be something that swept us, and that was it. I like it. But for now, I do have to say this is like it's starting to get more and more sad. Like obviously, we're excited because we're going to find who's going to win the tournament and who's going to go through and how it's all going to end. But for now, it's like you're missing those days where there's just games on end, and it's kind of sad. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
It went by so quick, man. I
really
didn't take advantage of it, man. I didn't savor all those moments. It went by quick.
Yeah, those 0-0 draws, I'm gonna miss whenever we're kind of sitting there with no soccer. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there was a lot of frustration in there too. So yeah,
yeah, and we've worked on a lot the past few weeks to get a lot of things going for some previews for the seasons coming up, and as this tournament's ending, we're going to have a lot of work to do, a lot of content to bring you guys. So stay tuned. But before that, let's go ahead and get right in to the Euro 2024 quarterfinal review, and then we'll also follow it up with the semifinal preview. And we're starting off in Stuttgart, where we had Germany versus Spain. Spain gets the win 2-1, and man, this one we had. People, I want to say people were calling it the real final because let's be honest, these were the two best teams in the tournament, and it didn't disappoint. It was a fun one. And when
go ahead. Sorry, I was saying that too. I think because we were texting about it and how they were coming out aggressive and everything. I was like, yeah, well, this is basically the championship. So
yeah,
they were playing like it. Yeah.
Yeah, they started off, it was very chippy. They were pushing each other around, very physical. Yeah. That was pretty funny because it's true. If this would have been the final, it would have been awesome. But gladly, we got a lot more games to watch. So, but in this game, Spain, they were already the favorites coming into this game, and they're definitely the favorites now. I don't see a team that's better than them in every facet. Even the teams that are left, they're going to be playing France next, but England and the Netherlands, they all have their faults, but when you see how this game played out, Spain just they're deep in every position. It's just crazy. Like whenever you saw Pedri going out with an injury, Dani Olmo comes in and he's almost the man of the match. He gets the first goal. He was dangerous. He was forcing fouls. He was getting scoring positions over and over and over. And yeah, I mean, when you see his goal though, who was it with the assist? None other than Square Baby Lamine Yamal. He's just ridiculous when you see him, man. It's not just the way that he plays the game, like his physical attributes, but when you see some of the passes that he's putting in, there's nobody there, but he has the intent that someone's going to come and get that ball, like an Almost goal. If you watch it, he starts making a really late run, and Lamal just holds up, and then he passes it at the perfect moment. He's so good. I can't wait to see how it unfolds, especially now with the full season under his belt in Barcelona. He's broken out in the Euros like we thought that would happen. I'm excited to see how he does going forward. And on the flip side of that, anything you want to say about Lamal before we move on?
No, I was just going to say it looks good too. I was going to move on, but you're on your way. You got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and we've talked about Spain a lot here, but Germany, they shouldn't be discouraged by this result because ultimately they played the team that was probably the best team in the Euros and they lost, but they had plenty of opportunities to finish this. Between Füllkrug and Havertz, it had to have been at least, 6 to 7 chances. And if they would have taken 1 or 2 of them, this game could have been completely different. And they probably should have won this if you watch the highlights again, if you rewatch this match, they probably should have won this. Spain were there for the taking, but they just couldn't get those last minute goals. But who did get their goals? Lil Florian Uzi Verts, my boy, our boy. I don't know if that nickname's going to stick. It should, though. Uzi Verts.
Nice. I like it.
It's nice, right? Smooth. But he gets the equalizer, forces extra time, and it actually kind of just poured salt on the wound because they ended up losing in extra time anyway. So, man. But I think the main controversy and what most people will be talking about is how the hell was that not a penalty? How was that not a handball on Cucurella? I mean, it was insane, but I would like to clarify for everyone here, us included. I read an article and it was saying that there was a lot of confusion on the field. They were like, how it's pretty blatant. It's a handball, but the actual reason wasn't, someone was offside in the play. So prior to it hitting the hand, Füllkrug was actually offside, and that's why they didn't give that penalty. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but that's what they're saying. I think they just missed the call.
Yeah, I think I saw it live. I think whenever it was played, but as soon as I saw that there was an offsides, it hit the hand, and everybody just focused on the hand. And
right.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was. That's just one of the chances they missed. But I think Havertz also had like a chip where he was 1-on-1 with the keep that he just missed. He whiffed on, and yeah, Germany had a couple chances to take this game, especially at the end of the game. They were getting the ball in the box, cross after cross, and I was just getting really close, and they just could never finish though.
Havertz's chip was crazy because it was like he chipped and you just assumed like at this level and especially at how he's been playing, it's going in, but it just kept floating and then like over the net. Like, okay, well, I guess he's not finishing this. But Spain do get that win 2-1 and they're moving on to the semifinals. And housekeeping here, we had yellow cards, or we had 2 yellows for Carvajal, so he's definitely missing the next match. But Lenormand also is missing the semifinal match because he has accrued. He got 1 this game, and then I think in the last game as well. So they're going to be missing 2 of their main pieces on the defense. Not sure that it will actually matter for Spain, but we'll see because the way that France is playing. I mean, we'll talk about them here more in a second, but they might not need those 2 either way. So with that, I think that all we have left to say is Bis später. Bis später, which is see you later in German, to the hosts and to our saxophone crazy friends over in Germany. It was a fun time. We had great memories, but you guys are going to sit there and watch it from your couches while the games are happening just a mile away, unfortunately. But we're moving on. Portugal versus France. And you know the rule here at No Business Soccer Podcast, we don't dive too much into 0-0 draws. And it's unfortunate whenever you look at the Portuguese squad and the French squad, because there's so much talent on those teams, but yeah, no goals. And I think my boy Vic has something to say about that, but give me a moment and I'll let you go on a rant here because I know I know how he was feeling a little bit earlier this weekend. But right on cue, this was fairly boring and not a ton going on until late in the second half. But by then, it was like both teams were just seemingly waiting it out to go to penalties. They didn't have a lot of energy. And yeah, that's really all I'll say about that. The other thing that popped out was that in the shootout with Slovenia, the Portuguese, like we said, they whooped their ass. They whooped the Slovenians' asses. But in this one, it must have just been Slovenians are really bad at penalties in that game because Costa didn't save a single one, and it wasn't particularly close. And the French move on through PKs. So, yeah, I know you're really excited about that, Vic.
No, I think this was one of the two matches where I was just like, they can't keep getting away with this. This is so annoying watching them. I don't know how they pull it out. But for the PKs, I remember when I think we were all talking again. We were talking about whenever Joao Felix stepped up, and I think we all knew like as soon as he stepped up, he's gonna miss. He looked like he's gonna miss.
He looked scared. He looked scared.
Yeah, he looked scared. It was weird, but that was weird that we were all thinking that, and sure enough, so you can see it. Nerves got to him, and France continues to not score and move on. They're in the semis without scoring an open play goal.
Yeah, that's insane. That is crazy, especially when you see the team that they have. I've said it multiple times, but it's so true. They're just deep everywhere and they can't score. It's crazy. And then there's a lot of I don't know what the word is, but there's concern because the captain, Kylian Mbappe, he decided to come off. And I don't say decided, he was subbed off. So, I mean, it could have been injury, could have been, I'm not sure, but it's unclear. But he didn't take a PK. So it's kind of like you left your team out there, man. What's going on? Like, why did you do that? Because Ronaldo looked like shit, but he stayed out there and took a PK. So I don't know. It was a little weird, but I was listening to some French reporters that were interviewing about the game, and something they said stuck out. They were saying that up until now, France were playing ugly, but they were winning games, and it was fine. The country was fine with that. But now they're playing ugly, and they're not losing games. And that's troubling. And I was kind of like, that's the same thing. Like not losing games and winning is the same thing. But if you think about it, it kind of it perfectly sums up how they're playing. Because I don't think if they play like that, they're going to get blown out by Spain. And right on cue with all this luck that they've been having, Spain isn't going to have two of their top defenders for that match. So, I don't know. It just seems like we were expecting so much more from this team. I picked France to win it all. But yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. And I think the only thing that's left to say about this one is that Ronaldo looks done. He was more of a hindrance. He didn't look like he was helping them at all. And there's a lot of frustration with the Portuguese media because they're saying like the coach should have subbed him off. He shouldn't have been on the pitch that entire time. He wasn't useful. So maybe they could have moved on if they had a little bit more of an attacking threat instead of him kind of just linking up and looking for someone else to score. And he had some good shots. It's not like he was useless, but he didn't do anything in this tournament. So, maybe something to look at going forward. I think he came out and already said that he's retiring from the Euros. He's not going to play in the next Euro, but he would be like 40 something years old. So, tell Pepe that, right?
41.
41.
Dude's still going. Dude's still going. Yeah.
I can't even do that. And I'm like 30.
Had a good tackle.
35. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew, dude was on fire. He was playing good. He if he's going to go out, he went out like Ronaldo wishes he could have gone out like Pepe did. But either way, I think there's only one thing left to say, Vic. And that's ciao. Ciao.
One of the easiest ones.
Yeah, ciao. I know. To our Portuguese friends. But shout out to our friends out in Lisboa. Love that place. Love the people. Love the city. Shout out to y'all. But it sucks that y'all went out like this. And moving on to the next quarterfinal, we had out in Dusseldorf, England and Switzerland. And I feel like we have a little bit of a difference of an opinion on how England played in this one. Because I feel like they actually woke up in this game. Not that they were perfect or they were playing how they should be on paper, but just from how we've seen them play in the past 4 matches they had, this was by far their best performance. Now, it was different because they were playing Switzerland, who were actually surprisingly playing very well. And it wasn't, a team that they were obviously way more talented than. Now, England are more talented than Switzerland, but it's not like it was a huge difference like with some of the other matches that they played. Did you feel the same way?
Kind of, but I also saw Swiss didn't play this game because it was a slow start for both teams. I just don't think the Swiss played as well as they had been playing, and they just kind of kept along with England. And the second half kind of stepped it up, but England looked a little bit better. They're still, I'm torn because I did pick England to win the Euros, and they're still not playing at the exact rate that I want them to, not rate and level that I want them to, but maybe that's why I'm so critical of them. I'm just upset with them. But
expect them to do more. Just like the French team, you'd expect a lot more from those squads. Mm-hmm. And if it ends up being a France and England final, that's going to be the most boring final. The way that they're playing now, maybe they turn it on in those games or in the games to come. But for right now, that does not look like it's going to be a fun one. If it happens, we don't know yet. But I will say that when Embolo scored in the 75th minute, it felt like it was done. It didn't feel like England had the firepower to come back from it. And we were watching them bow out of the tournament, and it would have been flames, all hell breaking loose, everything going to shambles. Southgate, he would be fired before he left the arena. But Saka, I don't like his club, but I got to give it to him. It was a perfect goal. Bending curler around the defenders, kissed off the pole into the back of the net. I mean, beautiful. But he's the reason that this happened, and he saved them. They've been saved in every game. It's crazy. It's like clockwork. They like to wait till the very end, and they go through. So at what point, I guess I should say, do you just kind of chalk it up and say that's just they are who they are, and this is how they play? Like, they're not going to beat a team 3-0. They're not going to beat them by a landslide. They're just going to kind of survive and then get through it in the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too. They haven't played at the level I want them to, but they find a way. Like they have the tools, and whatever they have on the field, they figure out how to do it, and they still do it and just crawl through and do it whatever they can to win. So that's saying something too. They still got the championship heart going on for them.
Well, they haven't won anything, but they have the play well pedigree in the tournament. Heart, I guess. Yet. There you go. The pedigree. They definitely have the talent to do it. It was a little worrying when you see Kane getting subbed off because he fell into Southgate on the sideline. I don't know what happened. I can't remember exactly if he tripped or if he was like sideline busted, back in the day. But either way, hopefully he's healthy, because obviously he needs to be the reason that they win this, if they win it, to shut all those damn haters up. Tired of it. Also want to call out that Luke Shaw did finally play in this game, and that kind of justifies his spot because Southgate brought him, but this is his first time playing, so I don't know. Maybe there's some other people that he should have brought instead of him, but he didn't. But then also the subs, Palmer, Eze, and Tony, they came in and they made a big difference, especially Palmer. That guy's just good. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say about him. And then Tony, man, the no-look penalty was gross. Like, that was disrespectful. Cool. Like, how do you do that to someone?
That was nasty.
I mean, he's just staring in his soul and then just nails it like crazy. Very cool, though. Very cool. Okay, but we haven't really talked much about the Swiss, and I think that's fitting because they didn't play like they've been playing all tournament in this one. They kind of let England have their way in this one, and now possessions, it was pretty even. I mean, all over, it was very even game, but I don't know, Switzerland, it felt like coming in, they should have had more of the momentum and kind of taken it to England more, and they really didn't. So, I can't say, I'll say this. We have to say Adi? I don't know. Why do I have an exclamation point on that one? I don't know. Adi to the Swiss. But they made it to the quarterfinals. And coming in, I famously had them in fourth place in their group, not getting out. And a lot of people were saying that they weren't going to do much in this tournament, but they did. So, hey, that's awesome. And I learned my lesson. That's all I'll say.
I like it. I like it because they got me a free lunch, and
Still talking about it.
Still got to get that. But
Still
sorry,
talking about
England fans, Southgate stays. Maybe next year.
I feel like it's only fitting that we eat like I got to take you for Italian food. Like Italy screwed me over, so I got to get you
Olive
some.
Garden.
That's more painful for me than it is like success for you.
Our producer Danny P, he used to go to Olive Garden for like every birthday, all the freaking time. Like he just loved it. I guess because when he was there, he was family. So
wow. Okay, are we getting a freaking ad going here? Hey,
yeah,
where I used to do mine too. Where did I used to do mine? The family style one. Buca di Beppo.
Buca di Beppo.
All the time. Yeah. Man, it's Italian food, it's Italiano. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I owe you lunch. Swiss, it was fun. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to doubt you in any major tournament ever again. You're always getting out of the group stage. You're never going to get bounced. So yeah, okay. I learned my lesson there. Anything else on this one, Vic?
Nope, not much.
Okay.
Nothing I got.
Okay, well, let's move it right along. And we're going to cover Netherlands versus Turkey. Turkey.
Nice.
They threw down in Berlin. And this one, Turkey, they actually took control pretty early. Surprisingly, I thought that they would end up, if they didn't pick up the defensive deficiencies, that's hard to say, that they would end up getting blown out. And man, they got up early, and Turkey actually looks really good. They look really good.
Did you see the first goal? Like they had like 3 people waiting for that header.
Yes, it was crazy.
Ridiculous.
They were in the line too, unmarked. Like,
line.
how does that work? I'll tell you how it works in a second. But first, I know you're trying to be nice, but let's do this. Okay. Gakpo is a star. Gakpo, he came out in this tournament. He busted out and said, look at me. I'm better than Salah. I'm better than all those dudes over there in Liverpool. Start me. And now how do they not? We'll talk about that in other episodes, but how do they not? Just give me a little bit.
I think they got to. He always did good. I've been saying it this entire Euros, but I was like, he's always been good when he's on the field. It's just he's been overshown by like everybody else. Everybody else is Nunez is a bigger star. Salah obviously is a bigger star, and everybody there is. So.
I just watched Nunez punch Brazilians for an hour, and you're telling me that he's better than Gakpo? Yeah. No, that's not true. But either way, we'll get to Liverpool another day. But for now, Gakpo is tearing it up. He's become the star for the Dutch, and the Dutch were already leading in the Rowdiest Fan Award. Their fans have been awesome this entire tournament, but now they found those shooting boots, and the freaking attacking that they're putting on the pitch is just going crazy. Now, I don't want to say that it's all because of one person. Maybe it is because of Gakpo. He's definitely been a huge part of it, but also Memphis Depay, even though he hasn't been a total Lukaku, we'll just call it, he's been dangerous. He's been there every game, and he's been a nuisance in the box. So with him and Weghorst, Gakpo, of course, I mean, I think that they can make it rain goals. Is there a better way to put it? I don't know.
No, it's a good way. They came out in the second half, at least. The first half, they were a little shell-shook. Turkey came out swinging, but second half, they found their footing, and they kind of took more control in that second half.
Well, speaking of Turkey, let's talk about Arda Güler. That cross. Yeah. You're talking about how the first goal, they were just like 3 people sitting there. And if you watch the crosses that he's put in, they're ridiculous, phenomenal. I don't even know a good word for it. And that one specifically, like the goalie was confused. The keeper's like looking at it, and I don't understand how it's like, it seems like it's just floating and not, most of the time you see them and they're whipped in. They're really quick. This one, like, it was almost like a knuckleball. It felt like it was just kind of like floating towards him, and he wasn't sure where to go. And then that's how you get freaking 3 people just sitting there waiting for it. And I mean, this guy's incredible. It's going to be so fun to watch him now that he's healthy, and hopefully he stays that way. Get a full season under his belt in Madrid, and he has time to go practice now. They're out of the tournament. That's messed up. I shouldn't have said that, but. Either way, he's fun to watch, and it's going to be fun to watch his career progress in Madrid. And with that, we do have to bid farewell Oh, look at me. I need J-Fam in the back. I need you to find how to say bye in Turkish. Oh, I screwed the pooch on this one.
Hmm.
Wow.
Someone doesn't know how to copy paste correctly.
Hush kaka.
What is that?
Hush,
Hush kaka.
hush.
Hushkaka. Hushkaka. There we go.
Hush
Also,
kaka.
is
Hushkaka.
that the first time y'all heard JFam on the? I don't know if that's the
I
first
think
time y'all
so.
heard JFam on here. Yeah, that's the infamous
It
JFam.
was funny. We were just break the fourth wall here. I was like, hey, I might have to come to you for something here and then, like be ready. And look at him. He came through in the clutch. I fucked up. He stepped up. That's what we're a team for. But either way, Netherlands move on. The freaky deaky Dutch do it again. And I think it's time to talk about the semis now. So, starts Tuesday, July 9th, 2 p.m. on Fox. We have Spain versus France. Give me that money line, Vic.
Spain versus France, another no favorite. Spain is a plus 160 and France is a plus 215. So to me, Spain's going to win this. I don't know how France is.
Yeah, it's kind of
I haven't
weird.
picked France in a little bit. Yeah, but it should be really good. Really good game.
It's kind of crazy because when you look at the money line, it's showing that it's basically being there because France has history, but it can't be because of how they've been in this tournament. You don't look at this game and say that France really has a chance, because if they can't score goals, Spain's going to score goals. So yeah, I don't see this one being particularly close. I just don't see that they're going to, France is going to all of a sudden get their stuff together and be able to hang with this team, especially kind of the monster that Spain has become. I think this will end up being 2-0 Spain. That's my goal, my prediction.
I think so as well. And just to clarify, that's at the end of regular time. Who would be winning? Those are the odds. It's also a plus 190 for it to be a draw. But to advance altogether, Spain is a favorite at a minus 125, and France is the underdog at a plus 100. Rightfully so. I think Spain will also advance. I'm going to say 1-0. I just think France is going to be really sticky and just not give up anything, and
That's how they've been all
still don't
tournament.
see them scoring. Yeah, still don't see them scoring.
Yeah, the even at the fact that they're a plus 100 for France, it just seems. I mean, I'm not happy about it because I got some friends over there, but they know that it's all love, and they know that their team has been playing like shit. So, yeah, I think Spain gets this one 2-0, and they move on to the final. And speaking of, the team they will be facing will be determined between England and the Netherlands. They throw down Wednesday, July 10th, 2 p.m. on Fox. Hit us with that money line.
Those odds for the winner at the end of regular time are England plus 155 and the Netherlands plus 215. For it to be a draw is a plus 185. So no real winner there. It depends how you want to spend your money. But to advance overall, England is a favorite somehow at a minus 130, and Netherlands is an underdog at a plus 100. For my money, I got Netherlands. And
how could you not right now?
Yeah. Plus, maybe I might be a little bit biased here. So, Virgil, Gakpo, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I'm going to go out on a limb and get them 3-1 for Netherlands.
Are there really no British English starters for Liverpool right now?
Yeah, TAA.
Okay. I was like, I know there has to be one.
Yeah. TAA.
And he's the one who banged in that last penalty to get him through. So, what'd you say it was? What'd you say your prediction was?
I got 3-1 Netherlands.
My God. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
get funky
bold. I like it.
Let's get funky with it. Yeah.
At this point, I can't doubt England. There's no way. I think that Netherlands have been the better team up to this point, but I just can't. It's like with Switzerland. I can't keep doubting England and thinking that they're not going to do it, and then they're just going to do it all the way to the final. So, yeah, unfortunately, I do like the Dutch, but I'm going England. I think it's going to be 2-1. I would say 2-1. I feel like this one will probably end up being a 1-1 and then go to penalties again, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to put that out in the air. So I'm going to say 2-1 England, and it would be an England and Spain final. I just don't want to see England and France. That's all I don't want.
Yeah.
So.
I'm tired of penalties, man. I was talking to y'all for the past like Copa America games and Euros, and I was like, I always had plans in between these games to do stuff, and extra time and penalties were messing up those plans. I was like, man, someone needs to win this game. I'm tired of these penalties.
Like that hour is precious, right? It's like, I can go knock something out, but then it's just like it turns to like 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and then the next match starts. Yeah, hey, that's your dedication to the game, though, you know? Real recognized real. Yeah. Okay, well, that is it for our wrap around. We covered the quarterfinals. We previewed the semifinals, and we are almost to the end of the Euro 2024 tournament. Sad days or happy days, whichever way you look at it. But I appreciate everyone for joining in. And Vic, go ahead and take us home, bud.
Appreciate it again for you guys joining us. If you think we are right or wrong, let us know down in the comments. Also, like and subscribe. We're going to have all of our socials down in the description of this video or in Spotify, wherever you're listening this to. And just let us know what you guys think. If you think we're wrong, if you think only Snooze is wrong, I agree with
probably
that.
Probably not, but
yeah. Otherwise, we appreciate it, and we will talk to y'all after these semis whenever we talk about the final. So
give us some recommendations on where I need to take Victor to lunch to. Hype Man Vic, sorry. Yes. Oh, I need recommendations.
Yeah. What's your favorite Italian places? And all you're going to see is Danny P in the bottom. Is Olive Garden.
Over and over.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate it, guys. Like and subscribe.